My name is Kelly Dale with offthebeadedpath beadstore.com. Thanks so much for joining me today as we are going to work on part 3 of our Kaleidocycle, which is our summer bead along. So if you are just catching this and you've not seen part 1 or 2, I highly recommend that you click in the box below on the description box where it says more. Click there and you will see links to the part 1 and part 2 video, as well as links to the part 1, part 2, and part 3 pattern that we are going to do today. So a kaleidocycle, of course, as you know, used to be a fun little children's toy. It's mathematical, it's a lot of fun, but we're doing a beaded version. So week 1, we made 6 triangles that looked similar to this, depending on the color that you chose, and we connected these together using our size 15 seed beads. Last week, which was week 2, we did triangles that were like this, and we actually made hinge beads for these pieces. We did not go around with our size 15 seed beads on this. It was just with our hinge beads. So this week, we're actually going to be working on another different triangle, and this triangle will be done like our week 1 triangle. We will make our triangles and connect them together with our size 15 seed beads. The thing I really like about this specific triangle pattern, it goes fairly quickly, because after you do the first one, you kind of learn the pattern and you're able to see where the beads go. So you don't necessarily have to keep looking back and forth to your pattern. Now, again, we are going to make 6 of our triangles this week, and we are going to connect them into 3 pairs. Now, we are going to use, again, whatever type thread you want to today. I'm going to use the Essilon Fire, which is one of the newest threads on the market. I'm just testing it out. I'm really liking it so far, but I'm going to be testing out the Essilon Fire. You, of course, can use any thread that you want. I would just stay on a 0.006 diameter or smaller, depending on what kind you're going to use. Just like last week, unfortunately, I do not have a direct link that I can give you to Kate's website to get the pattern, but I will put the pattern on under the free section on my website at offthebeadedpathbeadstore.com. So again, if you look down in the description box right below this video, you will see a direct link to that pattern. You still have to go through the checkout process. It's completely free. It's just that's how our system allows you to get the link. So just be aware of that. So again, we are going to use 6 colors today, A, B, C, D, E, and F. And we're going to use about 1.2 grams of beads per triangle that we do. Now, they have recommended colors, and I'm also going to show you the colors that I personally used on mine, because mine are nothing like the colors that are on the recommendation list. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around, and just like last week, I'm going to work about rows 1 through 5 or 1 through 6 for you, and then you can have at it. So let's go ahead and get started. So for this week's pattern, we have A, B, C, D, E, and F, and here you can see are the colors that they used in the original pattern. So A was Delicate Bead 262, B 2127, C 327, D 2288, E 1788, and F 874. Like I said, I did not use those colors, so these are the colors that I used in my project. As I stated in the intro, this pattern is free on my website, but I'm going to go ahead and leave this here for just a second in case you want to pause the screen and write these down, or in case you wanted to screenshot what we're doing here. As in all of our other triangles we've done so far, the red numbers are the round, so round 1 all the way to round 12. The number here on the left in black, that's the number of beads we add in each row. Remember, our numbers are letters that are bracketed together means these are our increases, and we pick both of those beads up at the same time. And our letters that are just single like this, these are picked up one at a time. So this doesn't mean I'm going to pick up 2 B at the same time. This means I'm going to pick up a B and peyote, and then I'm going to pick up a B and peyote. If you have questions about this, I highly suggest you go back to week 1, because I do really in depth there on how to read that chart. So step 1 says we are going to string A, and A. PT means pass through all 3 beads twice more. So I've got my little beads laid out here from my Bead Easy system. I'm going to pick up my 3 beads, and I'm just going to leave myself enough tail thread that I can hang on to as I work. And then I'll go back through those 3 beads once more, like that, and then through them again. When I go through them again, I pass through them one at a time, so it makes my triangle of beads that I need. It says to make sure to exit the first A. So the first A is the one with my tail thread that is coming out of it. So when I go all the way around, I will have a tail thread coming out of one bead and the working thread coming out of the other side of the bead. Round 2 says I'm going to do an AA, an AA, and a BA. So I pick up an AA. I take the needle and I come through the very next A. So when I do that, I want them to sit on top of the other 2 that I just were coming out of, so that it looks similar to this. Then it said AA. So I pick up those 2 beads and I come down through the very next bead. And the last one on the row is a BA. And then this is the one where we are actually going to go through 2 beads. So I go through the last bead of the row, which is this bead here, and then I step up through the first bead of the new row. So I'm going through 2 beads here at one time. And again, when I pull it, I make sure that everything is laying the way it needs to be, so that now I have row 2 complete. Now we're ready to go on to row 3. Remember, our beads in the bracket, those are beads that we pick up at the same time. So it's CC, so I pick up 2 C's, and then I come through the next bead, the very, very next bead. I'm not skipping anything. Again, you may have to make them lay like we want them to. The next bead is an A, so we pick up an A. And we come through the next bead that is sticking up. This is a little peyote there. The next one is AA, so it's 2 A's. And I come through the very next A, the one right next to the one I'm coming out of. Then it tells me I'm going to put on a B, and I go through the very next B. And then finally, it's 2 B's at this increase. So I pick up my 2 B's and I come through the very next A here. It's the one right next to where my thread's coming out. And then the last one for the row is an A. So I pick up an A, and remember, this is where we have to finish the row and we do a step up. So I finish the row by going through an A and a C. So I'm going through 2 of those beads. And let me see if I can, there we go. So you can see there, I'm stepping up through the A and the C there, so that when I pull through, now this is what I have. Okay, so how I know that I'm on row 3 is I have 1, 2, 3 beads sticking up. So now that's going to put me at row 4. Row 4, I'm going to start out with my first increase, which is an FF. Then I'm going to peyote a C and an A. So 2 Fs. And I come down through the very next bead. Then I'm going to thread on a C and go through the next bead sticking up, and then an A, and come through the next bead sticking up. So now I turn this, and my next increase here says it's going to be 2 A's. So I pick up 2 beads, and I come through the very next bead. This time it tells me that I'm going to add 2 B's for my little peyote. So I pick up 1, I come through, pick up 1, and come through. The last increase for my row is a D and a B. So I pick those beads up, I come through the very next bead, and then I'm going to peyote with, it looks like 2 A's. I'm going to go ahead and grab those over here. Okay, so I pick up 1 and go through the beads sticking up, and then I pick up 1, and this time, this is our step up, because you can see here I have 2 beads left in the row. So I have to finish the row by going through the C, and then I do the step up by going through the F as well. So I'm going through 2 beads there to finish off the row. At this point, if you want to, you can go ahead and put a needle onto your short tail thread and stitch it through a few beads and then trim it off. Completely up to you. I'm just going to continue on with row 5 here. So again, our increase is E's. Then we're going to peyote an F, a C, and an A. I'll increase 2 A's, and then I'll pick up a B, and a D. And then increase is 2 D's, and then I will peyote a B, an A, and a C. So I start out E, E. So these first couple of rows are going to seem really weird because of the way the colors are, but you're starting to set up the colors. So now I can look here, I'm coming out of the purple. This is going to be making a little bit of a diagonal. So I put on F and go through, and then I can look here, I've got a C, so I'm going to pick up a C and go through. And then the last one is an A. The great thing about this middle increase right here, you'll start to notice this increase is always 2 A's. This increase does not change at all. The middle increase is always 2A, so you'll get that as you go through your pattern. I'm going to pick up a B, go through a B, pick up a B, go through a B, and then pick up a D and go through the D. The increase is 2 D's, so I pick those up and I go through the very next bead, which is going to be a B. And then my peyote is a B. An A. And then the last one is a C. Yes, a C. Now again, when I pick up my C, this is where I have to do the increase. So I pick up the bead and I'm going to actually be going through the F and the E, these 2 beads right here. So I go through both of them at once. And that completes row 5 of the triangle. So at this point, I continue on and do rows 6 through 12, and then once I get that, I'll be right back with you. Once you get one made, then you'll want to make a second one. Now on this second one, I've gone ahead and I've popped in my size 15 seed beads all the way around. One in each corner and then one peyote in each space. Your pieces are going to go together just like this. So what we need to do now is we need to go ahead and we need to finish out our 15s, zip it up, and be done with it. Now I did want you to see when you do this, your two ends here and here are left open a little bit, and that's completely fine. That's what you want. You don't want to tighten this up here because these are going to move, so you need to leave it just like it is. But you can see from the detail there, those extra 15s we added are going to work as another row of peyote that we can zip up. So my thread is coming out right here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a 15 all the way down this one side. So let me grab some of my little ones here. I'm just using a matte clear finish 15. And in the corner, we just pick up a 15 and we come through the very next bead. And now all the way down, I just pick up a 15 and go through the next bead sticking up. Now when I get to the corner, again, I'm just going to pick up 115 and go through the very next bead. And then this is where we are going to start connecting our two pieces together. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm going to connect them together in the correct spots. And I can take and slide those beads in there, and you can see, especially down here at the bottom, how they just fit together like a puzzle piece, and that's exactly what we want. So I'm going to leave these separated just a little bit here so that you can see my thread is coming out of the white, which is my color A. And I'm going to take the needle and I'm going to go through this first 15 sticking out here on the left side. I'm going to leave this open a little bit just so you can see, because now I'm going to come through the next bead sticking up on the right side. So when I pull that, you can see how those beads are connected. And when I pull this tight, you'll see now how that is zipped together. So now I go through the 15 that's on the left. You can see I hold these beads in place as I pull just to help it stay together better. I go through the delicate on the right, and if you can do it at one time, you can go ahead and go through that next 15 on the left. Sometimes you can get through both of them at one time, sometimes you can't, so you just kind of have to play bead roulette, I guess. So I go through the delicate on the right, the 15 on the left. And I'm just going to work my way up, zipping the piece together. So on the left side, I'm not going through any delicates. I'm only going through my 15s. once I get up to the top and I go through the last 15 on that left side, like I just did here, then I'm going to go through the next delica on the right, and then I'm ready to continue to pick up my 15s and finish out this last side, and then I will stitch through the beads to get rid of this tail thread. Once you have your first pair complete, then you are going to make 2 more pairs exactly like the first. So 6 triangles total zipped together will give us 3 separate pairs. And this is what we need to complete for week 3. So guys, I hope you are ready to finish out your triangles for week 3. We are almost there. We only have 1 more set of triangles to do after this, and then we are going to go over the connection procedures for our Kaleidocycle. So I'm super excited. I love seeing all the pictures that some of you are posting on our social media pages. I love seeing the colors that you're choosing. It makes my heart so happy when you guys go out on your own and pick your own colors and just have a wonderful time. So remember, links to weeks 1, 2, and 3 pattern are below. Links to week 1 and 2 video, again, are below for you so that you have access to those. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Come back next week where we will work on part 4 and then start that connection process.